JJ, yesterday we had Aaron Rodgers on. He talked about his whole cadence situation. Seemed to clear the air. He and Salah are doing great. They hug, especially in the locker room. Hopefully on the field, the hugs get better for all of us to see, I guess, or more. They're both in on it as much. But what do you, from playing against that cadence that Aaron has, can you describe what it's like and what kind of weapon that is for an offense?
Yeah, I heard AQ talking earlier about it. He had some great insight on it, and I agree. Aaron's cadence is very difficult to play against. I think the cadence is one of the most underutilized things in the National Football League, and when somebody uses it properly, it is a very legitimate weapon. So I don't think that he should ever back it down because it truly can get you extra first downs, extra yards, extra opportunities. I mean, everybody knows he's the best at getting guys to jump off sides and then taking a deep shot down the field. And why not? It's a deep ball. You have a chance to connect on it. But the thing that Aaron does so well, and it is difficult, AQ obviously can speak to this, everybody has to be on the same page. There's so much information that they have. But if you do it right, Aaron's is like chaos. It is, he goes up to the line and it always sounds the same, but he could do it on 3, he could do it on 4. Like most guys have, it's on 1 or it's on 2. And that's about all they can handle mentally and all the offensive line can handle mentally. Let's be honest here. We're not dealing with, rocket science.
Yeah,
we
got
to keep it. We got to keep it pretty simple. Oh. But Aaron's, he'll go on 4, and they all sound the same as 1. And most guys, if they're going on 2, you can tell. It's like a hard 1, and then the second one, or they're always the same. And generally, their offensive line knows that he likes this enough that they aren't tipping each other off. Like AQ was speaking about earlier, offensive line always has that little, hold your water or Jeter because it's on 2 or something like that. Aaron's guys generally in the past, at least when I've played him, haven't really given it away. So it completely negates your ability to get a good jump on a pass rush, and it can give you a few extra plays a game, free plays.
Yeah, it's one of the things that separates him, I think. That is literally a part of his game. His accuracy, his ability to read the defense, and then also his cadence is what people attribute to him. And I think other quarterbacks ask him about the cadence. I feel like it's one of his things. So whenever it was kind of presented in that press conference, hey, well, you're maybe the greatest all time, Matt. We're going to have to slow that thing down a little. And then he's
it's like telling a pitcher, your fastball is too fast, man. Just
catcher can't catch up to it.
Knock it down. Yeah.
Was
but for AQ, an interesting conversation I'd love to have with him is he was talking about the offensive line, ace blocks. You come up to the line and they have to kind of remind each other of everything. For me, as a vet, the further you go, the more you can pick up on those and use them. Early in your career, you just got to focus on your job. I just need to worry about what I have to do. But as you go later, those guys start talking. I know the play before it starts. If I hear CC, I know that's a C block. They're going to come down, so I know exactly what run play is coming. If I hear Jeter, I know that's on 2, or some guys say Soko for second color. That means if he says green 18, green, that's the second color, so they're snapping
You're
the ball.
Connor Stallionsing in the middle of these games? Sounds like.
Oh, yeah, they do. They
1,000%.
do. Decoding.
And we're the same way. L.A., New York is a big thing with blitz calls, right? So I'm picking that up, and I'm yo, if we got a scoop here, let's slow this down, turn it into an ace on the run. It's little things like that, but it's so true what he said. As you get older, you have to. I know when I played next to Justin Pugh and J.R. Sweezy, 8-year guys, 9-year guy, and I was in, I think, my 10th or 11th year at that point. It's, hey, we have to be very good anytime there's a naked, a play action, whatever, and make run calls. We have to ace, deuce, deuce. Hey, we got an ace. Hey, let's scoop to Mike 52, knowing we're just running a naked and we're going to take a shot, right? You have to be good on that because – and even if it's just once, JJ, right? Even if it's just one time you hear an ace call and it's not an ace, it's oh shit, now I got to think.
Same thing as back to the cadence. If a guy goes on 2 or 3 in the first 2 series of the game, all game long I have to worry about it. He may never go on 2 again, but now I have to think about it the whole game, and I'm never going to jump that 1. It's those little things, and like you said, the older guys get it. You got the Trent Williams, the Lane Johnsons, the Jason Kelce's. Those guys will start making fake calls. And I don't think they're smart enough to do that. And then they do it, and then I'm screwed.
You're the dumb
like an idiot out there.
Yeah,
I'm the idiot.
Yeah, you're the pawn getting work.
A hand up, man up. I am a moron a lot. But it's fascinating. So people always ask me, why don't they change the calls? Don't they know that? And I'm like, yes, but the nature of the NFL is guys are changing teams so often. Practice squad guys are coming up. Guys are getting hurt. You have to have similar calls for these guys to be able to plug and play every week. So basically, every team in the NFL generally has one set, maybe two sets of calls that cover the whole league. You could plug and play in any offense pretty much.
Did I get you? I got you on a field goal probably one time, I think. I probably got you. If I had to
Probably. The field goals are tough because those guys are watching the hand, or like the center's head bob, things like that. Those ones are tough. Another big one is the play clock. The play clock is a big one. You see that play clock winding down, you know they can't go on two. As soon as that thing hits zero, they have to snap it. So boom, you're off the ball. I, against the Colts in a playoff game, learned the hard way that the refs won't throw a delay of game flag until the clock is past zero.
Yeah, because remember they say clock down, then throw or something like that.
I hit it at zero. Big mistake.
Yeah, it needs to be negative point half.
Mm-hmm.
You need to let that thing go one more side. Go ahead, AQ.
Carson Palmer had one of the best things. So it was 3rd and 1, right? Like anytime we had a 3rd and 1, he had this cadence called Daytona, right? And it was Daytona's the live word. So he'd sit there and he'd get up, said, hot, white 80, white 80, said hot, send somebody in motion. Said hot, white 80, blue 20, hot. And at this point, he would wait because now the defense thinks that we're just no play, right? He would wait for the D tackle to get on a knee, and Daytona, hot, and then we'd run the play.
That's
awesome.
That's brilliant.
It was awesome
because that's exactly what we do.
Yep.
We're like, oh, fake play, and then we all just chill. And I've never seen anybody actually do it. That's brilliant.
It was awesome.
I was always like, somebody might as well take advantage because we all relax.
Well, that's like fake spike play. I think Peyton was trying to do that a bunch of times. Those deception plays are awesome in theory, and when they work out, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hands too, right? Sometimes
Except for certain fake punts, right? Certain fake punts don't work out.
Classic. Yes.
Hey, some quarterbacks' hands though too, right? Isn't there like some tells that come out, like some quarterbacks' hands will like
open
before the ball is about to actually get snapped? They like just move their fingers just a little bit and D-tackle.
I don't think people understand the level of scrutiny that we take to opposing teams' film. Like you said, whether it's the hands, sometimes the guy's heel. If one heel's a little bit more off the ground than the other, that's a pass play. If it's flat, it's a run play. Or if one foot's a little bit more in front of the other, that means he's going to open to the left versus open to the right. There's so many different things. Offensive lineman stances. I mean, everybody knows the old school one where if they have weight down on their fingers and their knuckles are white versus if they're back. But it's a 2-point stance versus is that 2-point in his instep or is it to the heel? Like, we literally dissect everything. You say Connor Stannons, and that's why it was so funny to me with the whole thing is I'm like, every single team in the country, if you're a reputable organization whatsoever, is trying to find every single advantage. That one's its own. But, like, we are trying to find every minute little detail. We're listening to every TV call for the cadence, for the inflection of the voice, for the offensive line calls, anything. We're trying to find any advantage we can.
Which is why having a great cadence is a massive weapon and why Aaron goes, if we're going to be trying to win a Super Bowl here, the cadence has to stay. I don't know about everybody else, but cadence is going to have to stay. Quite a weapon.
Get you to show coverages, too. Like you go on that 2 or 3, you got to blitz something. Like, if AJ got a blitz or I got a blitz, maybe my blitz, he catches me. All right, AJ, here, you take it, you switch it. But you get that safety rotation. And quarterbacks, at Aaron, you 10, 15 years in the game, all right, it's going to be this coverage. You get a guy on film who can't really hold his water. Maybe it's a new guy in the lineup. It's always tell. So it's a lot of things that go into that cadence on every level. The D linemen, the linebackers, and the DBs.
And if you have the D linemen on their heels just a little bit, like he said, if they go on 2 or whatever, that opens up everything. For instance, a run game.